in the background, the hotels, the holiday villages, and the golf course there as well. And this is a place, the great skiing part of the world. And at this time of year too, people out on their mountain bikes and people enjoying themselves. Of course, we're now right in the heart of the Alps, and here this man being urged on by the crowd along the side of the road, which gets thicker and thicker. You can virtually decide how much further it is towards the top of the climb to see if he can get up there. First used in 1922, this particular climb, so that was what, some 71 years ago on the stage from Nice to Branson. And up this side of the climb then, they've got something like 1,060 metres of climbing, an average of 5.3% on this climb up the Vars. A lot of big top riders, well-known climbers have been over the top of this one here and done well in it. In 1989 was the last time he came over on the Gap to Branson stage of the Tour. It was here way back in 1953 that Louis Zimbabwe set about his great victory in the Tour that year. But the roll call of riders that have gone over the top of this climb in first place just shows you what a classic climb it is. A bit like Zotemuc had been over, Jimenez, Gaul, what a great climber he was, a man from Luxembourg who gifted in the way he climbed. Coppi, of course, Bobby over the top, Kubler, Robic, little Robic, a great climber, little man who used to put his lead in his bottle to drop down the other side because he was only such a small, light little fellow, he needed weight to help him down. Bartali, of course, who used to battle with Coppi, also been over the top of this climb in first place. There's the great champions and great names of the riders have been over the top here. Bruno Cornelet came across here in 1989 in first spot. So let's see who's going to get it this time. Can Kasani hang on? He seems to have found a little more speed from somewhere, but the cars are coming up now. It looks like they're shifting up.
The gap is also down to 2 minutes 10 seconds now, so it is closing.
And they're moving the cars out for two reasons. One, the gap is such that they want him to be able to see it, of course. The other thing is the press cars now being told to go ahead because down the other side, they're going to go faster than the motor cars.
They will. They go very fast down the other side.
Well, brinkmanship it is for this rider to go away as he did on the flatter part. There, the green little stickers in the back, by the way, those are the press cars. We see a green sticker. Those are the gentlemen who are writing this story up for their newspapers. No, there's another one. Le Parisien, I think that one is. Looking at the back of there, you sometimes pick up the name of the newspaper, while the stickers they get all over the cars as well. But now the press moving on away. They've got a good view of what's been happening, making a few notes for their stories for the papers. Tremendous number of journalists travelling with this race, hundreds of them, and television pictures going out all across the world of this great Tour de France now. It's 80th year that it's actually been held. It started way back 90 years ago. The legends have been built up over the time, and that's why it's possible to hold a great race of this, because history is on its side. It's seen classic battles of men whose names have gone down, absolute legends, and they fought battles on these roads. In years gone by, people like Coppi would ride in a winner's stage by 12 or 15 minutes at a time after epic long road battles and then demolishing the opposition. Now it's much more scientific, and with Indurain, compared with what used to happen in the old days when they were coming in 10, 15, 20 minutes apart, the gap then between him and Mejia in second place in general classification is 3 minutes and 8 seconds. It just shows you in this day and age how vitally balanced it is. And we can always remember back to that time when Greg LeMond won the Tour of France by a slender 8 seconds from Laurent Fignon. Before that, if memory serves me correct, the closest gap had been 40 seconds. Imagine racing 3,700 kilometres and only be separated by seconds. But here, Kirpucci has moved up onto the wheel of Indurain. It looked a bit flat, I think, as far as attacking on this part of the course is concerned, as Kirpucci then having a welcome drink of water from one of the spectators along the route. He's got a tremendous following, Kirpucci. I know in England a lot of people have almost formed their own Kirpucci fan club, but this man out in front, Kasani, certainly the gap is coming down, and they should be able to see him before long, Martin.
They should. He's got less than 2 minutes now, and it's not a very, very big gap to have, but they're not that far from the top of the climb. There's still quite a big group behind as well.
Yeah, and nobody seems to be really just accelerating. They're just keeping a constant tempo, aren't they? There's no attacks at this particular moment. They aren't coming up and putting the thumbs up, so they seem to think there, the following car, that perhaps he's got enough in hand to stay away. It's interesting, actually.
Or maybe it's just 1 minute.
1 minute. Oh, yeah. I could have put up two fingers. Might have been offended. Well, That gap then coming down all the time on the climb. Well, there we are. Still a long way to go up toward the top of that climb. And all these people, you see the camper vans out on the side of the road where they've been waiting, sleeping overnight. And many people will take the holidays and move round with the race. You often see the same people, the same vans on the side of the road. As they move across, they get the maps of the course and they find a nice place to go. I hope there's no swamplands over there for those cars and get themselves stuck, but they will off the road.
See, he's looking back now and hoping that he doesn't see anything. It'd be quite disappointing for him after making such a courageous effort to try and take these points. If he was caught now, it would be a bit disappointing.
Well, there's another one for the album. The spectators here with the cameras get themselves a good shot of one rider on his own. And I see all the names out here. It looks like the Dutch have been out in force as well. And the Belgians likewise painting down the names of their favourites. Getting up close towards the top of this climb, so he still might be able to do it.
It looks like he's going to take them.
Well, we're waiting with bated breath. And there we are, you can see the little signs to say this is the King of the Mountains, and there you can see the banner. So Kasani is going to get there, and Kasani is going to help himself then on this climb to 30 vital points in the competition. Well, we congratulate him on that one. That was a superb ride. He's been riding now 2 hours and 33 minutes. The riders behind, I suspect he will be quite happy to regroup here, because when we come over the top, Rominger's got to, I think, try and take second place on this climb to stay in contention for the King of the Mountains. So let's hope we go back there and see the action with the static camera. I'm sure we will do so. My clock said that they've now been something like about half a minute since this rider went over the top. The last independent time check we got was the gap was something like 1 minute back to the main fill. So we look out for the class colours coming through as he's sweeping down here on the other side. Taking it rather gently, I would suggest. We've got some distance before we go to the next climb, which will be the De la Bonnet Restafon. That comes after 123 kilometres being covered. Right now he's covered 78 kilometres of racing, and here we are then, Rominger, as I suspected, coming, and Kierpucci is going past him. Oh, Kierpucci, who has previously been King of the Mountains in the Tour de France, has gone past Rominger to get the extra points there at 1 minute and 5 seconds back. Hansen drifting over. Well, I think we can see now the main contenders for the King of the Mountains climb have got to be Kasani, Kierpucci and Rominger, because that seems to be a very determined effort from Kierpucci.
It does, yes, yeah, he's definitely going for it now.
John Rees.
A bit of a break there.
Rees has had a good tour, hasn't he?
He's a very, very good tour. He's not normally noted for being a climber, but he's climbing very, very well in this year's tour.
And he's quite a big man, and of course comes from Denmark, a fairly flat country. It's amazing how some of these chaps from flat countries just still drag themselves up the hill.
He's having a very good year. He won a stage in the Giro and also in the Tour.
Yeah. Well, this man won a stage in the Giro, and he's got the maximum points at the top of that climb. Miller still has something like about 4 kilometres to go to the top of this climb of the La Bonnet Restafon, 2,802 metres above sea level. They started the climb at a point 1,280 above sea level, so climbing over 1,000 metres on these zigzag hairpin climbs, and the field now splattered all the way down the mountainside. Some of the time checks on some of the top people like Bunyo, Alcala and Charlie Motte now well over 2.5 minutes back on this leading group. And when they get over the top, that big downhill swoop, and then the final climb of the day. Now then, 4 kilometres or so toward the top, Martin. Any predictions for Robert?
I don't know. I think it's still a long way to go, and it depends how hard this group are going to come down the other side of the mountain. But it looks like it'll be a very exciting finish. There's quite a few very good climbers here who have nothing to lose. Jaskula's still there, and he doesn't look very comfortable, but he still seems to be hanging on there all the time. I wouldn't like to say yet. I've got a feeling that Rominger waiting to attack, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't attack on the last climb.
Well, another man that suffered under the pressure then, Delgado, who went up with Robert Miller earlier on, has now come straight through this group and has gone out the back as well. So Indurain does not have anybody with him, and it really has been 10 green bottles. They've been dropping off one by one by one, and all the way down this mountain now. The riders struggling, and those are further back that were dropped early on the first climb, and then the second climb of the day will be coming through something like 10, 15, 20 minutes, even half an hour down. So that is the group that they are of the leading group in that chase after. There we are, that's it. So we've just got those men chasing after Robert Miller, and here he is. In fact, the chasing group after him at the moment. Robert Miller, here he is at the top. We're getting toward the top still. Hasn't missed a beat so far. Keep your fingers crossed for him. That gap, that 30-odd seconds or so, I won't say it's easy to jump across, but it's not really as much, I think, as perhaps Robert would like. A cushion of perhaps over a minute or such. You can see the poles in the road there. That's when the snow comes down, so you can actually see where the road goes, because we get covered in snow. Not a tree in sight. We're way above the tree lines now, moving up into altitude.
The class is still making a very, very good speed here. I think I don't think there's...
Oh! A spectator went against Indurain then. What happened then? This Spanish fellow ran against him, eh? What's this?
No, he has his back to the race, and it's something that people should never do.
And he nearly went down the side there, the stupid man. I mean, Indurain actually seemed to touch him or put his hand against him. That was crazy, wasn't it? I mean, there's one thing about being excited, the other one is to run around, you know, and do stupid things like that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. It's so dangerous.
Because one year when Merckx, a spectator, came and went to hit him or something, and Merckx lashed back out at him or something. Yeah. Well, it was a photographer that fetched Azola off on that run into Verdun and really paid, I think, to his chances of competing in the time trial and staying within contact of Indurain. But Azola, a young rider who retired from the race halfway through last year, which is exactly what happened to Indurain the first time he rode the Tour de France. Some of these team managers don't like to expose the rider to the trials and tribulations of a complete tour from day one. And Azola then brought down by a photographer on the side of the road, and there we nearly had Indurain also bumping into somebody. But still, keep your fingers crossed. Some more flag-waving characters coming out here. 59. So at the top then it's 56 and a half, so we're getting somewhere around about the last couple of kilometres from the top of this climb.
Gonzaga's doing a very, very good job here today. He's riding very, very strong and doing a perfect ride for Rominger.
Hasn't missed a beat, has he?
He hasn't, not at all.
No.
And he's riding very, very hard. The whole class team has done a great job. I don't think Rominger can blame anything on his team today.
No.
They're doing super right.
I'm going to say how remarkably relaxed though that both Maika and Hampson seem.
Yeah.
Hampson's looking round now at people and just
they look very good.
Yep.
I think we could also see an attack from them in the end.
Yep. Well, Maika is second on general classification, 3 minutes and 8 seconds back. Hampson is sixth on general classification, 8 minutes 6 seconds back on Indurain this morning. So Jaskula has been hanging on to this little group as well this morning in third place. The man who suffered most of all is Eric Breukink, who was fourth this morning. He's out of this little group. Rominger was fifth this morning. Charlie Motte is seventh this morning. He's out of the group. Miller not in contention for the overall victory in the Tour this year, but looking for a stage. And at the moment he could well be over the top of this climb. He's just looking way up over there, where the road's going to go, right over the top and down the other side. Clouds come across the sun, make it a bit chilly up with this high altitude here. You can see the spectators with their anoraks on. By no means a warm day out there on the road. Well, Azola just about half a length back. Still with him. I think the flatter part now would probably help him, because the Pole's best achievement or one of the best achievements ever was Piasecki, who took the yellow jersey in 1987. He wore it there, but the position that Azola has got now halfway through the tour is one of the best that Polish riders have ever got. And both Piasecki and Azola come from the same village in Poland. This man from Glasgow. No tenement buildings up here. There's nothing. Hardly anything grows at this height. Nobody lives up here.
We find the air is quite thin up at this altitude as well. It's not it's not getting any easier.
Oops. Let's hope he isn't in any trouble.
He's riding very well.
Yeah. It's a long way down from there, isn't it? Look at that.
It is a long way.
God. Well, all you people watching, you saw in the distance the valley and those hills, and there you are, look at that lot. He's ridden his bike up there. We started this morning 1,300 feet above sea level. We dropped down to the lowest point was around about 1,200. So in fact, he's come up 1,000 meters. That's 3,000 feet of climbing in these 20-odd kilometers or so. Up and up and up all the time, and the air's getting thinner. And you can see just nothing's growing up here. It really is up right on top of the world.
We just got word in that Delgado has caught the group again. So that would be a help to Indurain.
Certainly on the descent too, because two big blokes, aren't they? Yeah.
Well, it's just good to know that you've always got a teammate there.
And let's see what's happened if Delgado has got up there. We've got information on the radio. Motorola team car having come up to talk to its two riders. Feeding on the move today. And nope, he's not there. Yes, he is. Hey, that's great, isn't it? He's really fought his way back.
Straight back up to Indurain, so Indurain will know he's there.
Yep.
It'll give him a psychological boost.
Yep. So 2 from Klaas, 2 from Banesto, 2 from Motorola, and GBMG Azola sitting at the back with Conti from Aliosi. There's Conti. That gives us some idea, 6.9% of this 22-kilometre climb. The GBMG team cars have been up to have a chat. Actually, the GBMG team have got Claudio Cruquillon as their PR man, and the other day at one of the finishes he was trying to get in to meet up with, I think it was Cipollini or something, and he hadn't got his accreditation with him. You know, you can't get anywhere in the Tour de France without your accreditation, even if you are well known like Claudio Cruquillon, because they just won't let you get there. So he borrowed the team manager's badge, you know, and put it around his neck and walked in, and damn me, one of the security people spotted it, he wasn't here, and threw him out. Yes. So just show you can't go anywhere without the right ticket in the Tour de France. They've all got different colour ones: green for the press, yellow for the assistants, technical people for the press and TV, and gold ones for the people, the invited VIP guests, and so on. All got different coloured things around their necks for the people, special ones for the people with the caravan as well. Doesn't do, by the way, to take your hand off the steering wheel here, does it, in this motor car? You go a long way down to the bottom. I'm told half that's a car, but the bike's on top as well. It's happened in the past. They've been known to go over the edge, but we wish them a pleasant descent and a safe one at the other side. And of course, they're feeding their riders now. And making sure they're okay before they go down the descent, because the team cars all have to back off, and on the way down they'll be careful of other riders coming down through the team cars as well, because one or two will be trying to recruit. And Robert Miller now getting a lot of enthusiastic coverage as he gets towards the close to top of this climb. Miller then, the Scotsman, domiciled in France for so many years now, and a great Tour de France rider. He's won stages before. His best place finish ever has been 10th in the Tour de France. He's heading up toward the top of this big climb, 2,802 metres above sea level. He set the pace at the bottom just as they came up onto the climb of 22 kilometres of constant uphill grind all the way. He had Delgado with him for a short period of time, then saw Delgado off, and Delgado's now fought his way back to the group, which includes Indurain. Robert Miller then knows what it's like to have the applause of spectators up on top of the mountain, because this is his territory. Excited spectators here encouraging him on all the way up, and Robert then really smiling now. He's done it. He's done what he set out to do. He looked absolutely elated. He's absolutely timed this to perfection. The thing is, going down the other side, will he wait for the remaining group? So when he goes all the way down to the bottom of the hill, by then he will do about 40 kilometres straight down for the top of this climb. That's 25 miles virtually downhill all the way, and then that final climb up to Azola. Is he going to persist with his attempt? Is he going to try and win the stage today? Well, as he said, I've gone over this classic climb and I've got my name in the record books as being the first man over the line. Certainly he's put a spirited performance in today, Robert Miller. Now bouncing out the saddle, jumping on the pedals, ensuring that he goes across the line in first place. Knowing behind him he's got some cracking mountain climbers coming up. As Robert Miller then eases up, and a moment of glory for the Scotsman then for the TVM team. Goes across the top of the La Bonnette in first place.
I don't think he'll give up. I think he'll continue on and take his chances.
Well,
because he doesn't know how fast or how slow they're going to go down the climb.
And, yeah,
he's not as bad as said now. See, Yaskola has slipped back again.
I think they're going. Roman's going to have to push you on a bit here, isn't he, for the points on the King of the Mountains? And this going over here, then it looks like if Roman had come through, Miller will have collected 40 points. I see if Romigo can take second. I think he's probably going to do for 35 points. In which case the jersey will change, and technically King of the Mountains jersey will go to Tony Romigo. His teammates still doing the work. Yep, Romigo moving forward. Indurain quickly marks him out, although he knows he's going for the points in the King of the Mountains. Accelerating through, Maisha very quickly follows Indurain. Rominger, Indurain, Maika and Delgado. .119 the gap. So that looks like Rominger has taken the King of the Mountains jersey at the top of that climb. Chiappucci in the lead. John Rice alongside him, then Indurain behind, Rominger on the right-hand side, Maika there. We're on the climb up the Azola 2000. This climb up to the top of the finish of the mountain today, going up to 1,900 metres. They just come out of the bottom of the climb at 900 metres. They've got 1,000 metres of climbing. To finish today's stage at the top will be at the 180 kilometres will have been covered in the race, and all the way up here 17 kilometres of climbing. Robert Miller it was that went away on the start of the Col de la Bonnette de l'Estafond. He attacked just after 105 kilometres had been covered. So right now he's been on his own for something like 60 kilometres, and this little group are trying to pull him back. The last time check we had, it was over 1 minute between Robert Miller and this group. And in the yellow jersey, Indurain then marking all the top opponents in the Tour de France. But the battle on at the moment is both the stage victories and to see if he can get it to crack.
Looks like Reese is going away from him.
Yeah, 33 seconds a gap now though, so poor Robert Miller is beginning to struggle. His best gap was 1 minute 30 odd seconds by Bourne Reese going away, which is quite unusual. I mean, he's just a big man hauling himself up here.
He's a big rider.
So Martin Early,
very well.
Martin Early, my co-commentator here, then I think, like I am, full of admiration for this Danish rider who's really having a good year, isn't he?
Very good year. He's won a stage in the Giro this year and a stage in the Tour de France, and now he's climbing with the best of the best guys. He's very good year. The group is splitting up quite a bit behind as well, and they're catching Robert.
Well, I'm trying to understand what his tactics are at the moment. I just thought he'd levered himself off the front like those big men to just get a little bit of an edge before the hammer went down from behind. It may still be that, but looking at the group behind, they seem to be riding just at a reasonable tempo, not attacking, are they?
There's no attacking yet, no. I think it's a little bit hard for them to attack. It looks like Rominger is having to do the chasing.
Well, he's without his teammates now. Buster got on the flat to close down the flying Scotsman. He looks quite calm, doesn't he, on this climb? He's looking good, Reece.
He's looking very good.
Yeah. And looking back down there too, I can still see that Maika's comfortably alongside Indurain, but Robert Miller beginning to nod a little bit now, and well,
Chiappucci still there. Hampson dropping back a little bit. Yaskula still 2 lanes off the back. As
got a long piece of elastic
as usual.
He's got a long piece of elastic, isn't he? Sort of yo-yo's back and yo-yo's up again. The longest piece of elastic in this race. Well, Chiappucci, having got back to this group after the descent off the top of the Restafon, did a marvellous ride to get down there. He took an awful pacing yesterday. He's not doing too well on general classification, but there are a lot of other riders that are way down on the road today that Chiappucci might clamber over and get himself back at the general classification. He started 13.56 down in Indurain in 16th place, and yep, the hammer's beginning to come down now.
Conti losing.
Yeah, well, he's been with them all the way on that climb too, hasn't he? Up the Restafon. Did a good ride, but that's it. And I think Reece is also going to go back to his teammates. The 2 Ariel steers will have a little tandem at the back.
Hampson and Jasper still seem to be hanging in there.
Yeah, Chiappucci, you know, he's got the whole look about him like he's going to have a go.
He looks like he's ready to go any minute.
Yeah.
That's it.
He bounces along, doesn't he? Looks over, moves to the side of the road. Heck.
He is. He's gone. See, will it provoke any reaction from the group behind? He's no real threat to the overall classification, but there may still be riders there who want to win the stage.
Yeah, well, this could be. Yes, you've got to pull in Robert Miller now, which may be good or bad, because Chiappucci had to really fight to get up to Miller. Miller's been doing a lot of work on his own, but Chiappucci always a gutsy performer, so Miller might have some help to go up this climb now, unless of course he's got into that position where he's drained of all his effort and energy and is going to sag off as they come through. Let's give our fingers crossed to Robert Miller as Claudio Chiappucci claws his way up to him, taking Bjorn Reece with him as well. Reece absolutely surprised to have got back as well, and he comes up alongside Miller. Has Miller got anything left? Miller then looks over his shoulder. He's gritting his teeth. Is Miller going to come alongside him? He's dropping back. Miller digging deep. He's been riding a tremendous race so far. Seeing Chiappucci come through, that must have absolutely surprised him. He's getting back there. Miller's fighting back onto Reece's wheel.
He's not giving up at all.
Pace. Not giving back. That's great.
Not at all. Great.
Oh.
Reece is also doing a great ride there. He's able to go with Chiappucci there. If he can hang on there, he'll move up on the overall as well.
So I presume then that Maika and Hampson and Rominger are thinking that perhaps those riders up in front might crack, and this fellow's still riding
there.
a length off the back. Position normal.
And they're opening up quite a gap now.
Yep. That was a classic ride from Chiappucci to get back, and when he was descending, the way he came down that mountainside, absolutely amazing. But he's a sort of bloke, you know, who seems to not judge. He goes 1 minute and blows up next, doesn't he, Chiappucci?
Miller's still not letting him go.
No. Must be very difficult to ride with somebody who's, you know, yo-yoing in their speed.
It is quite difficult. Hampson seems to be in trouble there. Jaskula seemed to close that gap very easy, very comfortably.
So Hampson, winner of a stage in the Tour last year, up the Alpe d'Huez.
Rominger has just brought them back.
And Miller's blown. I'm sure I just saw Miller grovel. Miller's grovelling. Oh, what a shame. He's just suddenly blown a gasket. Robert Miller's attempt to win the stage has now gone as they've gone sweeping past him. Chiappucci also tried. He's now being caught. The battle is now on for stage victory between these three riders. Rees has fought his way back in again. Still Claudio Chiappucci hanging on. Jaskula going off. Rominger, who won the stage yesterday, ahead of Maker, with Indurain just 2 seconds back. Hampson came in 1 minute 13 seconds down. Almost an action replay of yesterday. Jaskula was there 1:13. But the new player in the pack then is Bjorn Rees, and also Robert Miller, who's dropping off it. Hampson then is out.
Chiappucci going back a bit.
That fella Maker hasn't budged all day, has
No.
he? The Motorola rider. Now then we should be able to see how strong Indurain is. He was totally strong yesterday. Chiappucci doing his usual go, stop, stop, go, stop, stop tactics. Well, he won't give up without a fight. He'll try and fight his way back. And I think Jaskula's fighting his way back up
He's
too.
still there, yeah, he's still there.
Rominger looks like he's really trying now. What do you think?
He does, yeah. I don't know why he's just riding and setting the pace, because I think he'd be better off if he could sit behind. But maybe if he sits behind, no one will ride. As Chiappucci just come back. Maybe he'll attack now.
Yeah, he probably will. He probably will. Just for sheer devilment. And when they call him the devil, but of course I suppose that's the way he's always ridden, isn't it?
Yeah.
And sometimes it comes good, and sometimes it doesn't.
He's going back.
Jaskula has to go round these tail end Charlies, doesn't he? He sits in for a bit, opens, sees the gaps opening up, has to go back round again.
But Rominger setting a very high pace here. Maybe he's just trying to burn them off, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be as easy as that.
Well, Rominger this morning on general classification, 5 minutes 54 seconds down on the general classification. Breukink was ahead of him 5 minutes 7 seconds. Breukink is way off the back, blasted out now. So Rominger could in fact be moving up into fourth place overall. Jaskula this morning 4:16 back. Rominger's got to drop for Jaskula by something like a minute and a half if he's going to move into third place and aim for a podium finish up in Paris at the end of it all. Well,
Rees is another one.
Sorry?
Rees is another one who's going to move up quite a bit on the overall, because Breukink seems to have lost a lot of time. Charlie Mutte has lost a lot of time.
Right.
I think he's in a good position now.
So Rees could move up then above Mutte, above Breukink, putting himself up in probably sixth place overall. This must be some encouragement, Martin, to riders like Rees, who year in, year out are there. I mean, he's only run 6 races since he's turned professional.
it's an incredible ride. He's just riding so strong this year.
Yeah.
Rominger still towing them along. I think it's a bit late now for Chiappucci. I don't think he'll be able to catch them now unless they stall a bit.
Well, this year a lot of people said that they were sorry we weren't having the usual finish up the Alpe d'Huez with its 21 hairpin bends, but they found a particularly good uphill finish for today with these riders flicking round the hairpins and this long climb up to the top, 1,000 metres of climbing in 17 kilometres, and there they've been numbering the bends as well and the distance they're going up toward the top of Miller, trying to find his way back. Is he going to collect Chiappucci? Chiappucci's back. Could you believe it?
It's like a yo-yo today on this time.
Yep. And he's coming up the inside. He's going to go to the front. Look, I'm back. Jaskula decides that he's had enough trouble chasing down the gaps that Chiappucci opens up.
He's not going behind him again.
Oh dear. No. He keeps digging deep, doesn't he, Chiappucci?
He does.
And coming back again. Ah, it's Hampson
Coming by
that,
Hampson.
yeah, I knew he got something up in front. Hampson's hope of a stage victory today seems to have gone, and that Miller likewise with it. So the question is how this little lot can do this. I thought Rominger looked a bit tired the last time we had a look at him from front ways on, eh? Well, May has always been in the wheels. I wonder if he's prepared to have a go, because he seems to ride in a very calm and relaxed way, doesn't he? I think Chiappucci, if he goes again, is like to blow. Rominger certainly looked like he was trying a bit further down to split this lot up, but I don't think he succeeded at all. Indurain has watched every move, so this group's still on the long climb. Anything could happen yet. So there we are then, Indurain on attack. It's Miller going on the far side, inside 4 kilometres to go. He really rocketed off there.
What a good attack.
One or two might go bang bang, and it's Miller of all things. He's fought his way back. He's gone 4 kilometres to go. That's quite some way from the finish, but what damage is he going to do? Indurain have been leading. Then who's going to pull him back? Chiappucci never lets anything go. Indurain trying to wind up. The rest are on Indurain's wheel at the moment, and Miller's chosen just the right time to go. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
That was perfect attack, but Indurain still looking very strong there, and just continuing on with his tempo. But a very, very good moment for Robert to attack.
Now then, for the rest of these rides, I suppose what they're thinking, that Robert might be cooked after climbing back, and that providing they stay on Indurain's wheel, if he can pull him back, we might see another attack.
I think you will see another attack.
Right.
I'd be pretty sure that when they get Miller back, someone else will take the chance.
Any suggestions?
I think Rees could have a go.
Right. He's shown a lot of power, hasn't he?
He has. He's shown a lot of power, and they don't seem to be catching Miller. He just seems to stay at the same distance.
Yeah. Indurain is rolling here, isn't he? He's not really putting too much aggression into it. It's slightly downhill here.
He has quite a good gap there. He has a very good gap.
And coming up to 3 kilometres to go for Robert Miller.
What a great effort.
He really is digging down his reserves. And 3 left, so that's something around about, what, 5 minutes of racing ahead of him. Has he judged it to a nicety, or is he suddenly going to go with a loud bang and explode then?
Well, you can see now they're trying pretty hard behind him. They're all out of the saddle there.
Well, they've still got him in sight. This is real brinkmanship, isn't it? Robert's burying himself at the front.
He's giving it everything again.
What a great gaze. I'd love to read in cycling when I get back to England what he said about today. He'd probably write it in blood, I should think. Well, he's not won a stage in the Tour de France since 1989. Is he on for one now?
A little bit of a descent there. That'll be of advantage to Miller. If he gets a chance to just sort of take a little bit steadier there, he'll be ready to go again. The last 2 kilometres.
Well, he just switched on and saw Robert Miller go. Let me tell you that Robert Miller went away on the climb up the Col de la Bonnet, the rest of the farm. We hit the bottom of that one after about 103 or 104 kilometres had been covered. He then went all the way up that climb, so like 20 kilometres. He took Delgado with him to begin with, then he got rid of Delgado over the top of the climb. Robert was something like about 50 seconds ahead of this group here. They came down the other side. In fact, Chiappucci had been blown out on the climb as at Rees, and they fought their way back as the riders changed, and some came up and some went back. And Miller down the other side was still in the lead as we came up towards the Azola, but they pulled him back at the bottom of this climb. They shot him out. He's clawed his way back in again. So Robert Miller at the moment, he went away at 105. We've now done something like 175. So he's had about 70 kilometres on his own. This one gallant Scotsman here up in front, desperately digging deep into his reserve to see if he can get a stage victory in the Tour de France. He's battled all day in the sunshine, and this group is beginning to pull him back now. The acceleration of Indurain, that cold, calculating performance, and Miller is still burying himself. He'll be able to see the kilometre to go sign soon. He's looking back, and Indurain is just ploughing up steadily, steadily, steadily. Oh, do you think it's over, Martin?
It looks like it's over now. We just have to wait and see. 2 kilometres to go. It's still a long way.
So soon, when he gets around that corner, he'll look for the final kilometre to go, but he's going to be pulled back. Miller's rapid acceleration did not provide the gap he wanted. Look at Indurain, just accelerating, just slowly turning on the gas, just putting on the pressure. What a performance.
He's turning it up again now so that nobody else can do the same thing. Try attack again, but he's just so strong.
He's just riding up, isn't he? Miller's now just going off the back, and just look at Indurain. Well, Miller's got back in on Yaskula anyway. But he can't have anything left for a second dig at that one, surely. Well, the only other rider, Claudio Chiappucci is another one that's prepared to have a go. Race has been strong all day. Yaskula, well, yesterday he got dropped on that final climb. He finished 1:13 down on Rominger, the winner, but he's in with a chance today. Miller bouncing round to just stay in contention. No, he's drifting off.
That's it.
Oh. New pair of legs, please.
A sprint finish on top of a mountain, it's something that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. You see one or two, sometimes three at the most, but this pack is pretty enormous at the moment. That Maika's never attacked, has he?
No,
really?
It's amazing. I thought he'd attack. He looks so easy there.
Yep. Yaskula's moving up. Look at this. Yep.
Maybe we could see an attack.
And
Reese has come back as well.
Yeah, yeah. Now these big men have got a lot of reserve, haven't they, when it comes to this sort of final kilometre? They can dig deep as well and go very fast with it. Let's hope the crowd don't bring down any of these riders. We've seen troubles in the past with spectators, and here we are, this massive crowd have turned out to see the final kilometre coming up underneath the red kite. This group of riders then, in the yellow jersey, Miguel Indurain. At the back here in the GBMG colours is Yaskula. The red and yellow colours just up in front of Bjorn Rees from the Area Steer team. Also in there the blue colours with the red shoulder, that's Maika from Motorola. Also in there the white and the blue pants, that's Claudio Chiappucci. But Tony Rominger for the class colours.
Is Yaskula moving up now?
Yaskula's going, yeah, with one kilometre, thrusting his way through past the people. He's been sitting all day and he's gone straight past them.
And Rominger's gone after him.
And Rominger's going to pull him back very quickly indeed at the moment as suddenly Yaskula's legs start to slow down. Rominger with him. Indurain's climbing across to him. Rominger's going yet again. Well, Rominger died further down the climb, and Indurain's coming up to him and sitting on his wheel just so nonchalantly. That must be absolutely mind-blowing. Rominger looks back. He's on the other side, Sunshine, looking inwards. So, looks like between these two. That man Indurain, what can you say about him, Martin, eh? I mean, he's sitting there shaking your head. I'm absolutely amazed. He just did it, zonk, on the wheel. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, I think it's between these two now, unless Rominger steadies up and the others come back again. But Yaskula's attack, it seemed very strong. He looked very strong, but yet Rominger and Indurain, they brought him back so easy.
Yeah.
And they can't be much more than 700 metres or so to go now.
And the crowd here, a natural grandstand, enjoying the sunshine. They've been listening on their radios, some of them with their portable televisions, picking up the action, which has been a day full of incidents, a day full of activity all the way through. These riders have raced ever since they started the stage today. They came up out of Serre Chevalier. The first big climb of the Col d'Isard was after only 27 kilometres had been covered.
400 metres.
The riders here with Rominger on the front. He won the stage yesterday. Indurain was in third place. May was wedged between them. 350 minutes to go. Rominger still riding away at the front then. Looks like he's going to really take the King of the Mountains jersey at the moment. He's already got enough points, and these rests are out of contention and only battling for third place. What a great spectacle we've got here with Indurain showing his enormous power, but as he tries to switch on the inside, Rominger then still shuts the gate. 100 metres to go. Indurain's going for a stage victory. Indurain's going, and Rominger comes off his wheel, and Rominger gets that one just ahead of Indurain. I think we'll wait for the slow-mo on the side, but I think Rominger still got it just ahead of Indurain. Claudio Chiappucci coming in for third place then, burying himself on the line. They've been racing for 5 hours, 41 minutes then. Yaskula goes across, then Maika. Average speed 31.49 kilometres per hour. And Bjorn Rees, another very strong man, survived. Coming in then, to the finish. Robert Miller will be thankful to see that finishing banner. He'd like to be under it in first place, but when he comes around the corner here, the crowd applauding that enormous breakaway he did up the Cal de la Bonnet Restafon, something like about 60 to 70 kilometres. He's either been in the lead on his own or with that leading group as well. Great ride by the Scotsman, coming in then to finish just some 50 seconds down on the race winner of the day. I think it was Rominger. We'll have to wait and see then, but Robert Miller here getting a sympathetic round of applause. Great ride by him today, and he's back with a bang, and I look forward to seeing him in the Pyrenees just to see how he performs there. 1 minute in arrears. Well, he must be disappointed, but still happy, I'd have thought. So Rominger then collecting more prize, more points, 176 we reckon he's got in the King of the Mountains. No doubt about it, he's got the polka dot jersey, and down that mountainside there are riders still struggling to come up there to finish here at Azola. Well, we just finished then at 32 kilometres per hour. Yesterday they averaged 37 kilometres per hour, and those tired legs were very happy tomorrow with the fact that we're going very much onto the smaller downhills. Let's have another look at this one here, and let's see who finally got it. Indurain powering for the line. Rominger digging on the right-hand side, deep into reserve. Indurain had got about half a wheel length, and he looked down at his shoulder, looked back, and that was it. Rominger came through and got the victory. That's 2 victories on the trot for Rominger from the class team. Another slow motion picture from another side here. Indurain digging deep. What a great ride he did. He put the tempo on to pull back Robert Miller. He looked down, he thought, well, that's it. I got the yellow, and Rominger gets the stage. Here we go. Well, what do you think of that, Martin?
Very, very good. They seem Rominger. They seem very strong. The two of them to be in front like that, they put a lot of time, 30 seconds into most of the others in the last kilometre.
Yeah.
It seemed quite a bit of time to put into them. And even Miller, he lost 1 minute.
Right.
But I think there's going to be a lot of guys who will finish a long way down. I mean, here's Hampson now coming in, and he's only been dropped with in the last 8 kilometres or so. So I think there'll be a lot of riders a long way behind.
Yep.
The tempo has been very high. I thought when Jaskula attacked that time I thought that was it for the stage, but they brought him back so easy. You know, Indurain is just so strong.
I mean, what do you do with Indurain except put a Mickey Finn in his drink? I mean, that's so strong, isn't he? He just, well, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And these riders then, look at the gaps they're coming in. I mean, they started on this climb with them, didn't they, down the road there? We've seen them in, well, it isn't long since they got blasted out, but look at the gaps they've got, and they've ridden very hard. That's
3 minutes, coming in. There's not much more than 10 riders have come in so far.
And Conti was still there with, what, about 10, 12 kilometres to go. Claudio Chiappucci, who clawed his way back. I gave you a quick rundown on some of the positions during the day, but Chiappucci, who was something like about 2.5 minutes down when we went over the rest of the got his way back to take third. Well, Pedro Delgado did a tremendous job today out on the first climb, or second climb up the oak category of the Restafon, and here he comes in now. Did a great job to help Miguel Indurain defend that yellow jersey. But he's going to come in something like about 4.5 minutes down, if not more than that, on his teammate. And the class team, that was a great ride today, wasn't it? So at least they got something.
At least they got something. They got the stage out of it, and they can't be disappointed with that.
And there you see all the paraphernalia of the finish here in the Tour de France, these mobile grandstands and these places where the VIPs can stand and watch the racing, and all this little lot has to be taken down and moved on to the finish. So through the night people are working to take these barriers away, put them on lorries to take down all the grandstands and all the paraphernalia, and drive through the night and on the next day to get themselves in position for the next stage finish. Riders are going to be coming in probably for the next hour or so up toward the finish here. And again, class.
Chave here coming in, he did another very good ride today. He'd be pleased to hear that Rominger's won the stage.
It really is penny numbers, isn't it?
Is Rondon just coming in now? I think we'll be waiting quite a while.
Some of them haven't even got to the bottom of the climb yet, I would suggest. Can you imagine that? Oh dear. Because it must be very great difficulty then for the Soigneurs and helpers when they've got some riders in early and the rest scattered down there.
Well, they just start on the riders they've got in and they wait for the rest.
Yeah. Yeah. There are confirmation then of that result. Chiappucci, Azola and Aika. And little look at Azola with tennis courts and its area where they're doing a lot more development, you can see here. Not exactly the time to go swimming in the middle of the winter when this place is acting host as a ski resort. There we are, Rudy Altig helping today on the commentary, and also Vincent Barteau with our French commentator. My friend Martin early in here, we forgot to put his name up, and we found his Irish flag somewhere. I've much enjoyed having Martin with me today. In 1 week's time, when we're covering the Pyrenees stage, then he'll also be back to join me to put an in-depth knowledge of the racing. And I certainly say that today we've learnt a lot. We've been on air since this morning at 10:30, some 6 hours of broadcasting. And Martin, thank you for all your help today. I hope you've enjoyed it.
David.
And welcome back next week, and hope your training goes well, and that you'll be back in action again, and we'll see you on our screens rather than this side of the screen as well. And one of your teammates coming in, looking reasonably happy today. So there we are. The riders then, this is going to be, what, about 6.5, 7 minutes down? Yeah, 6:53. And the winner's time's 5 hours, 41 minutes and 3 seconds for the victor. And what will we do without whirlybirds? These aren't all the Tour de France whirlybirds, by the way. They are other ones that are used here to convey VIPs up and down from the start and finish area. And you can see what the ski resorts are like now. Of course, many of you watching the programme may well have been here for your skiing holidays, but they're being sprouting like mushrooms up on the top of the mountains as people work their way off into the winter. A lot of the cyclists as well love going skiing in the winter to get some fresh air into their lungs. What do you do in the winter, Martin, for a holiday? Do you get away?
I go to Ireland for a couple of weeks usually, and then sometimes I have to go skiing with the team. Spend 10 days or so skiing. It's usually used as a get-together for the team so that everyone meets each other in a sort of a relaxed atmosphere rather than waiting till everyone gets to the race. The rest of the time I just stay at home, taking it as easy as possible and trying to recover for the next season.
Well, there we are. This is where they ski during the winter. You can see those long slopes down for the skiers, all cleared out amongst the trees. Beautiful part of the world. It's now cleared off and the sunshine there. And I said earlier on in the programme, of course, a lot of people now taking their mountain bikes out because it's ideal terrain for mountain bikes. You see those little tracks over there, people to ride up and go right up to the top and see some beautiful scenery. And of course, mountain bikes, they're big rugged tyres and knobbly tyres, ideal for come thundering down too as well. Are you I think, what's your skiing like, Martin? Are you okay?
Skiing? I can just about ski.
Just about, right. I know quite a lot of cyclists turn to it very well indeed because they're using somewhat similar leg muscles as such, but here we are for the first time up on this climb at Azola. There are a lot of developments going on for the skiing, but as the now going to present the prize, the Coca-Cola Award for the stage victory today, bear in mind and think about those riders still out on the road and will be out there still for probably the thick end of another 45 minutes as well. So the victory then goes to Tony Rominger of the class team, the second stage in success as far as he's concerned. And he's got himself a special prize as well for his day's activities then. Tony Rominger, disappointed, I think, by not being more closely to challenging for the yellow jersey, but still looking for stage victories, and that's 2 on the trot as far as he is concerned. That is, what, some 9 minutes now since the victor came in, and more riders coming over the top.
And we haven't seen many groups yet. Most of the riders have just been Eric Broiking just finishing now.
Well, that's going to knock him out, isn't it?
At almost 10 minutes down, so he moved down quite a bit in the overall.
Well, he was 4th this morning at 5 minutes and 7 seconds. That's going to make him 15 minutes back. I'm just looking at Claudio Chiappucci, who's already in. He was 13.56. So right, Claudio's moving up in the top 10, isn't he? Well, Miguel Indurain coming up there to receive the crowd's applause. looking calm and collected after 5 hours and 41 minutes in that yellow jersey. Had a great protection from his Benesto team in the early part of the race, and then on the flatter parts when it went in towards the middle climb of the Col de Resifon, they did a wonderful job to keep him in contention. But this man showed on the climb up toward the finish what his power was like. He marked every move, he accelerated, he brought back Robert Miller when 2 kilometres to go. It looked like the Scotsman might be on his way for a stage victory. Enormous strength, dedication, determination. So he's in the yellow jersey yet again. We're going off tomorrow then, more action from the Tour de France on Eurosport. It's going to be the flatter part of the course. We're dropping off from the Azola here, almost straight downhill into the valleys and then into Marseille. A distance of 287 kilometres tomorrow, right down to the edge of the Mediterranean. We've just got, 3 or 4 fourth category climbs and 1 or 2 third category climbs. Nothing really to disturb the race tomorrow. The sprinters, if they've got any strength left in their legs, we're rather pleased, I think, that we're coming out of these big mountains. The next day, Marseille to Montpellier is relatively flat. In fact, there's only 1 fourth category climb. So their confirmation of the overall result. Meyer, Indurain and Yaskula up into 3rd place. Rominger into 4th because Breukings dropped out of the recognition. But the polka dot jersey goes to Tony Rominger. He's really collected a hatful of points today. And tomorrow, with just 5 fourth category climbs and 2 third category climbs, he should be able to keep that polka dot jersey. So for his day's racing today, a stage victory, the 2nd on the trot, and the King of the Mountains jersey to Tony Rominger, winner of the Tour of Spain earlier on this year, and hope to try and get the yellow jersey. It looks like it could well be in a podium position in Paris on Sunday week. So from Eurosport's coverage of the Tour de France, bringing you the best in bike racing, it's time to say we hope you enjoyed it, and for us now, bye-bye.
The Tour de France was brought to you by Coca-Cola.